everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be focusing on a new game called Twisted. I've been playing Twisted for months and it's grown to be one of my favorite games. For the people that don't know what Twisted is a storm chasing game, meaning that you have to basically chase tornadoes or storms that can produce a tornado. When you are having tornadoes, you can send out a storm chaser so they can gather information about the tornado. Now, one of the biggest thing in this game is vehicles, and you need vehicles to chase a tornado and get info from them. And one of these vehicles is the vehicle I will be talking about right now. It's the Doppler on wheels. The Doppler on wheels is a in real life vehicle, if you didn't know, and it actually works pretty similar on how it does in the game. So I will be explaining what the Doppler on wheels is, and I will be showing some footage of the Doppler on wheels in action trying to scan a tornado. So the Doppler on wheels is called the Doppler on wheels because it's a Doppler on wheels. A Doppler radar, which is a kind of radar that can scan weather or storms, is on this thing, and you can operate the radar and see what's around. So this is portable, so you can have a radar wherever you go with this truck, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so let's get started. Here we can see myself standing right in front of the Doppler on wheels, so we can get a closer look. So here we have the front. It looks like a truck, and we can drive it. It has the same sound as most other vehicles inside of the game. And here's the driver's seat. It looks pretty cool, but the coolest part is in the back. So here there is like a quad monitor, and there are little servers in the back, server boxes. Those are solely for decoration, but the quad computer is pretty cool because if you sit in it, you'll be able to see the scans from the X-band Doppler dish in the rear. So it will show up on the bottom left of your screen. Now here there's like a little portable generator, and we have the big X-band Doppler dish, and then in the middle you can see the little mezzanette. So when you press dish activation when in the driver's seat, it makes the dish spin, and when you activate the dish you can use it. Here are the footings. They will go down. It's like deploying another thing, and when you deploy it, it gets a better wind resistance, but not as good as some other vehicles. And then you can see the big little mezzanette thing shooting up into the sky. And then when I'm sitting in the Doppler seat, you can or the dish seat, you can see the scan wind speeds on the bottom left of the screen, which is pretty cool. So that's the Doppler on wheels. That's its biggest skill, being able to scan from long distances of a tornado. Oh, and also you need to be pretty close to the tornado, and you need to have a clear view. You need to have a clear line of sight with the tornado for it to actually scan. Now starting off the Doppler on wheels, and we're moving off. As you can see, this thing is pretty chunky and is quite difficult to move around. It doesn't have that good of a acceleration, probably the worst that I've ever seen in the game. But it does reach a top speed of 100 miles an hour. It's not very good at getting up hills also, so don't try to get up a steep hill. And yeah, so it's not that fast. It's a chunker, and it's built for long distance scans. So yeah, that was an overview of the Doppler on wheels. Now we're going into it in action. So here I was just driving around in my TIF 2 trying to get an intercept, but it turns out that I'm already too late. So I spawn in a Dow. So I get into the Dow and try and get into a position where the barely visible tornado, which is somewhere in front of me, so I can get the radar facing towards it, or when it spins, it's able to be not blocked and is able to scan the tornado. So here I get the perfect spot and I immediately deploy, activate my dish, and I can see on the scan wind speeds, we get 181 miles an hour. So I tell the people and help everybody out by saying that we have 181 miles an hour and get back into the TIV2 for more driving. So I will just speed this up to the next use of the Dow. So after a long journey with the TIV2, I decided to stop right here and get the Dow into a good position to scan the tornado. So here we can deploy and activate the dish really quickly, and we get a scan of 126. I tell everybody what the scan is, and it's definitely weakened from what it was before. So undeploying, disabling the dish, I'm pretty sure, yeah, or we can do, yep, there we go, we disabled the dish, and then we continue to move. Yeah, I'll again speed this up until we stop again when we can get the next scan. Now this looks like a good place to stop and get a scan of the tornado. So I'm gonna stop over here and I'm going to deploy myself right there, and I'm gonna instantly jump into the seat and get a scan, and yeah, it's definitely weakened from before. It's now off the map, but we can still scan it, so why not? So yeah. That was a pretty cool run, scan run, I would say. And, yeah, so that's pretty much it for this clip, and I will now move on to the next one. Alright, so this here is almost like a blooper, but I'm gonna include it anyways as a run. So I'm getting, just hopping out of the Dow and trying to scan this ginormous tornado. I'm pretty sure the thermals on this time that I was recording this were pretty high, and even though there was a mod in the server, I don't think there was any special stuff. As you can see, the scan is blocked. I must have been way too far, and yeah, even though I had a clear line of sight with the tornado, it's really didn't want to get a proper scan from that, even though the rain wrap was starting to come closer to me. And since this tornado was monstrous, I was, you know, yeah, I started to get a bit scared once the screen was shaking and things were flying towards me. I didn't want to get flung, so I basically just backed out of it and spawned a TIV. Well, failed scan, but still, that teaches everybody, that tells everybody not to get as close as you possibly can without getting yourself into danger with a tornado if you want to scan it. So you have to be very strategic with this. Oh, there we go, we got some hail. You gotta be very strategic with it, and you got to make sure that you're in the right place and at the right time. So, yeah. So, now reaching our conclusion. Is the Dow worth it? Definitely yes, but it comes with some different things. It depends what you liked, what you want to do. It's definitely not something to grind with that you should instantly save up so you can get money for it, because it really doesn't get that much money, and you can only get money if you're going into like an extremely weak tornado and getting mesonet readings from it. And so yeah. I would definitely recommend it if you want to have like a really fun time with the Dow, if you want to, you know, just mess around once you finish the game, do some scans, do some whatnot, and do some fun and crazy stuff with your friends, and help some other people out who haven't finished the game yet. It's definitely a cool vehicle to get, but you also have to think if you have the time to grind for it, or if you're really into the game there if you want to get it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and personally it's one of my favorite looking and one of my favorite vehicles in Twisted. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope that told you something about the Doppler and wheels. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye!